Hello, my VIPs, and anybody else who wanders over here. Excuse me. So I have been getting messages and downloads about, pop culture stuff, political stuff for years. And mostly it's just been, I thought it was just like for me, or like I might talk about it to my friends or people I talk to on a regular basis, but I never did it as a reading or was gonna post it or whatever. Um, but for the last few months, actually since the end of 2023, I was feeling nudged to do them as readings, but I kept like fighting it because like people have very strong and very specific opinions about celebrities and pop culture and politics specifically. So I kept fighting it because there are people that think what they think and they don't want to hear anything else. Blah blah blah. So I didn't want to do it. But finally, my guides, well, specifically my grandmother. My grandmother is one of the main people that gives me messages. One of the main spirits. Basically, she convinced me that her exact words were, "There's teachable moments in it." So I'm gonna give it a whirl. So anybody who feels offended, if you can't hear what Spirit has to say, my guides specifically have to say about any kind of political stuff or pop culture stuff or celebrity stuff or blah blah blah, then this is not going to be something you should listen to. Let me say that while I do have opinions about things, I try not to, but even when I do, I'm still open to hearing whatever Spirit has to say because I could be wrong. And mostly my opinions are formed on what messages I get and, what I see or whatever. So, like, while I am open to hearing a different opinion, usually my opinion is, if I have one, is based on messages I got, not just like because it suits my life, what I think people should do. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to be open to hearing other things, or this will not be for you. So, we're going to do it. And if it makes you angry, I apologize. I've been trying to put it off, but when my guys don't leave me alone about something, I have to give in, or it just gets worse and worse and worse. So, we're going to do this, and I guess because we're talking about specific people, and I still haven't figured out if I'm just going to like give clues as to who I'm talking about, or if I'm going to actually say their names, or I have no idea. But I guess, so we should always start, if we're going to do these, we should always start with, for entertainment purposes only, allegedly, yada yada, all the things. This is not my opinion. This is just what comes through. And we'll do it that way and see what we get. All right, so I'm just doing this now as I record it. So I'm going to have to like either keep pausing or keep getting quiet because you have to sort of get into that zone, which I'm not in just on a regular basis. So hang on. So, I guess I should also say, since I am recording this as it comes through, when I'm getting messages or downloads or whatever, plus I'm outside and there's a bunch of noises, but I get better messages outside. So, I tend to breathe very heavily. Those of you who have had recordings from me, you know this already. For me, and I can't speak for anyone else, for me, when I'm getting messages, there's like an uneasy feeling to it. It's not painful or anything like that, but it can be heavy energy I'm reading, and I feel that, and then I struggle to breathe, and I huff and puff, and I also like do deep breathing to sort of clear my mind again or whatever. So there'll be a lot of breathing. Sorry. See, I'm already breathing heavily. So I should say that. So if that's going to annoy you, then you should probably turn this off. Okay. I feel like I forgot to say something, but I'm just going to get on with it. So the first thing that's coming up is a message I've gotten many, many times, and I kept avoiding. putting it out there, but here we go. So there is something about something that's going to come out about a program, and I want to say it was like a government program, but I'm not positive, so I'm not going to say for sure. But specifically, I'm getting like late 60s through the 70s, where some group of people, will say, paid parents, a lot of parents, to make a child like a test subject. And I feel like there's a lot of them out there, to sort of treat them a certain way, put them in certain scenarios to see how it molded them as a human being. Specifically, I'm getting to see how, if certain scenarios and certain treatment would break a human being, break them down. It feels emotional. I think one of the things they were looking for is how much a human being can take before they take their own life. This is tragic. And so they would pay, I'm getting pretty big money to get, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, to get the child's, at least parents, if not more people in the family, to treat certain family members poorly, to make them feel, I'm gonna cry, make them feel bad about themselves, and make them feel like no matter what they do as they grow, no matter what they do, they're not accepted and things don't go well for them. And I'm seeing a lot of people as they grow up, teen years, 20s, 30s, whatever, actually being homeless, and as a result of these quote-unquote tests, being these test subjects. Man, this is emotional, because I feel like this is going to come out, and when people find out and are notified they were part of this or whatever, it's going to be really emotional, because I feel like you've had really tough lives, because that was the test. That was what you were a test subject for. I feel like more than that, like you've been watched by whoever this group or committee or whatever is. If you've noticed, I don't know, where you're just feeling like somebody's following you, or there's always somebody strange standing outside your house, or things like that. They check in to see how these tests are going. And people's parents were paid to agree to do this. I feel like it's big. I feel like it's worldwide. It's so I want to say it's like, it feels like governments were involved in this, if not who was doing it. But there's something about how the people who were originally involved, good gracious, somebody's shooting all of a sudden. That's a sign of something. The people who originally were on this committee or in this group or whatever that came up with this idea, like some of them have passed on, and so certain people who knew about it but felt like they couldn't say anything or do anything are feeling a little more freer, because the people they felt threatened by, they're passing on, right? This is 50 and 60 years ago, so and I don't know how long it goes. It may have gone on longer, it may go on now, I don't know, but what I specifically see is like late 60s and then through the 70s. So somebody's gonna speak, and I don't know who this is, but somebody has this tremendous amount of guilt. I think they were a part of it somehow, but it was only what I feel is like somebody that was young and starting in their career, and they just sort of got wrapped up in this thing, and they didn't necessarily want to do it. But let's say you go to work for, this is just an example, I'm not saying the CIA did anything, but just say you you know, you're 20 something and you're starting at the CIA and they come up with this program. Like, how do you fight the CIA in the 60s? You know, you don't. And I feel like they had to take part, and they have this tremendous guilt. That's what I feel. And it just feels like this tremendous sadness on both sides, on the people feeling guilty and the people that are going to find out. You know, it feels like I just feel people like my whole life has been like one burden after another, and it's because my parents agreed to this. Like, they took money and agreed to do this. And I feel like, not that this is going to make it better, but I feel like settlements. I feel like this is why I feel allegedly like it had something to do with a government agency, because there's something about what's the word I'm looking for? All I can think of is lawsuits. Restitution. I feel restitution. So it won't change the however many years of pain you went through, but yeah, I'm getting that there's going to be restitution paid to the unwitting participants, the test subjects. I can't believe I said that. Because I've been getting that for a really long time. I need a minute. This feels emotional. Hold on.